Okay, we're going to get started. First of all, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. We have a great crowd. It's great to see. If we get any bigger, we're going to have, actually we had a, where's Gina? Gina, we had to turn away 15 students, right? Yes, so if we get any bigger, we're going to have to find a different space because we are like filled to the rafters. So we have a few seats open up here, but I'm sure there'll be some latecomers, and I know there are a couple people out sick, so I heard that as well. So we're going to get started right now. For tonight, the way that the show's going to run is we're going to do some techniques across the front, all four people, and then while their colors are processing some of those things, we're going to do an awards ceremony in the middle, and then we're going to come back and finish up with more hair, okay? So I'm going to turn it over to Miranda, and go ahead, girl.
All right, so I'm going to be showing you guys two different variations of something that I'm seeing called velvet hair. What we're looking for with that is just really, really high shine. We're kind of getting away from like the super, super curly hair and seeing a little bit more straight looks so that we can see that reflection. So what I'm doing on Shelby here now is a pre-toning because I'm going to create this velvet hair look with some of our Joico tones. And when I say that, you guys are probably thinking like pre-lightener and everything else, but I'm going to use those Joico tones to my benefit to create that really high shine look. So if you guys know me, you know that I'm pretty dramatic with my colors. I want everybody to look like they walked out of some like fairy tale scene. But I'm going to do a little bit of a softer effect with our Joicos today by creating a canvas before I put that Joico on. So what I'm doing on Shelby right now, anytime we use Joicos, we're not penetrating that hair strand. We're just staining what's there, right? So I want to create a really nice canvas to put this on. I'm going to be using amethyst purple and a little bit of blue, which I'll get to why we're doing that in our next step. But right now, I'm using just 566 at her root with some 1.9. I'm pulling that through some of the ends as a low light effect, and then 6645 on some brighter pieces, just so that I still have dimension in there. But I want to deepen everything down because I really want that amethyst to just act as a high shine color for me with a little bit of a purple tonality like in the sunshine. Okay, our goal is not to be like super, super purple, but I want to create a really high shine look, and those cooler tones are going to reflect that light for me. Sound good? Cool.
Do you want me to go next?
Yep.
All right. Hello. All right, so I am doing kind of similar like high shine effect on Sarah's hair, but with the color of the year, which is Peach Bellini, which is Pantone's color of the year. So I'm working with a lot of clear, a lot of vivid clears, and then I'm also working with a Aloxys clear. Something I do want to show you before I get started is the Aloxy clear that I'm doing. I'm putting a little dab of red in there to give it like a pinky effect with the clear. Something you want to do whenever you are using these like really pigmented additives is I always say you need to whisk your color before you even put the developer in. So that way, whenever you're applying those colors, it's not going to look splotchy in the hair or anything like that, and you're just like kind of like meshing in that color. So I'm gonna add my developer. I don't know if you want to talk, Sami, so that while I'm mixing this up.
Sure. Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a split tone on Gracie here. So I already got my blonde side on just to save some time. And I did do, I want to keep it a little bit warmer, but she had some old highlights, so we ended up kind of getting rid of, and we did a double process on her the other day. So I do have 10 stroke 01 and 10 stroke 03 on this side. And then this side I'm also going to be working with that Pantone Color of the Year, the Peach Bellini as well. And we're just applying, making sure I keep that separate and just applying like a single app all over.
So real quick, as I turn Shelby, you guys can see here that I have my 2 different tones that I'm kind of just separating as I go. I'm only working on a 1 level difference. I don't want this to be like super dimensional because I want that like slick look and high shine. So like lots of reflection. I want this to look like one color, but in the sunlight, I do want to catch a little bit more pops of purple. So I just have that 1 tone difference, okay?
Before we move on to Halie, I'm just going to show you how I'm toning her hair in here. I'm making sure that I have my towel nearby since I'm doing 2 separate colors. But I don't really have to separate them too much because they're very, very similar colors. However, the diluted red, the extremely diluted red is obviously going to be the lighter color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work up into like a pinwheel type look on each section here. I'm going to start with the lighter ones like around her face though. But if Halie wants to jump in.
There we go. So I am just doing a highlight. This is like my version of a highlight, low light. Pretty much just to make the blonde pop more. So I did like make a head sheet that's on there to kind of show how I do it, because like a lot of us are online and stuff. So I try to, it just really makes the pictures pop too, and the clients really like it too. Guess I'm starting in the back. I did most of her head at the salon the other day. But when I start in the back, so like where the crown falls, like I put like a chunky low light right at the crown before I do the highlight that's gonna fall over it. And then that'll kind of like make it pop a little bit more. So that's just where I'm starting. I'm just gonna follow pretty similar to what I have on there. But I'll be doing a little bit more highlights to every one low light because she wants to be a little more blonde, if that makes sense.
Okay, I have to jump in here because Halie, you're underselling yourself. This girl has placed in every makeover contest she's ever entered anybody in. And I really do believe that the techniques she's showing tonight are the reasons this happens, because her photos pop when you came in there. She takes great photos, but you have to have great hair underneath of that, great color underneath of that. And when I saw her techniques and her diagrams, I was like, oh my Lord, this is what this girl does, and this is why these photos pop constantly. Again, every makeover contest she's ever entered, she's made a place, she's won a few times. So this is really cool because I think it gets us out of doing a one-dimensional highlight and adds something very different into it. And it gives it a texture and a look that makes it stand out as a highlight. So I just had to.
Yeah, and I am doing, so there's 2 different ones on there. The one I'm doing is, thank you, John. But the one I'm doing is the more dimensional one. The one with the zigzag parting, if you have questions about that, you can ask me, but I don't know if we put it on there or not. But it's a little bit softer when somebody still wants to be blonde. They don't want to see the dimensional strands. That one's more so if they just want a softer grow out.
Okay, so while Shelby processes, I'm waiting for that nice even canvas, because we know Joico doesn't like change the tonality of the hair. It's only gonna stain, so I'm working on getting that nice and even. So while she's processing, I'm gonna show you guys Maddie with this beautiful head of hair. So Maddie, we're really not shifting her color at all. I'm just gonna show you guys how you can kind of bundle a high shine package for your guests, even if we're not really doing a color change. So look at this gorgeous brown here. I'm gonna take and start with her Joico Clear. Now, doing something a little wild and crazy here, but not really. But we know that, like, we look at this head of hair. If we put a Joico Vibrant on it, it's not really going to do much, right? Okay. So what I have here is a tuba clear and just a smidge of our True Blue. Any thoughts on why? Ash shear's going to reflect more light, and I want to like see my reflection in this hair. So she's dark enough that I'm not going to turn her hair blue, but it's just going to soften out those warm tones for me, okay? So it's going to give her a nice high shine gloss and mute out any warm tones that we might be seeing. Cool? All right.
So I think to add on to like what Haley's doing, I hate to like keep on putting her on the spot, but I think we're moving away from these like ultra blondes, ultra high lift, only highlights, only tap roots and stuff like that. I think a lot of people are looking for that dimension, and they're looking for their blonde to have that contrast. And that kind of like more exaggerated look. So I don't know if you like, I don't know if anybody has noticed that or anything like that. And I think that Halie has been able to really pick up on that. And that's why she's been so successful with highlights behind the chair.
I will add too that like, whenever I'm doing this, you know, a lot of people don't want to just see like highlight, low light, all even. So when I'm doing it, this is just my way, but to make it more like, so it looks more natural, I try to do like maybe a weave, and then I'll do a slice, and then I'll slice it back to back, and then I'll do a couple weaves. Just so it's not like all the same all the way around. Now, some people do like that, so if that's what they want, obviously if that's the picture they show you, don't do what I'm doing. But to make it a little more natural looking, I kind of like alternate weaves and slices, and helps it look a little better.
So what I'm doing here for Maddie with this little drop of blue, obviously that's something I'm going to be pretty reluctant to do on someone with really porous hair or lighter hair for obvious reasons. But when you have a brunette and someone that, spoiler alert, we do color Maddie's hair. Like, she's a gorgeous natural brunette, but we do color. But if we had someone that maybe wasn't leaning into like a color and we just want to do like this high shine look, naturally brunettes are going to lighten in the sun and they're going to show that warmth. So this blue is a nice little trick for just softening that out without, you know, putting like a demi or a permanent on their hair.
Now with the peach here, I'm making sure that I'm really saturating these pieces, especially towards the end. So these pastel colors, as we're mushing it through, you're gonna get like less pigment towards the end. So you're gonna make sure that you really wanna get that whole strand saturated. to make sure it's nice and even all the way down.
Does anybody have any questions they want to shout out? It's really quiet in here. It's making me sweaty. Great, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, I think we have a question up front here.
Is this her natural level that you started with?
I'd say a shade darker.
Okay.
Yeah. We had, gosh, I'm drawing a blank. We went lighter. Like, we were lighter for a while. We were going blonde for a while. But she's naturally a level 5, so we toned her down to a 4.
Okay, so this would be something that we could do if someone wanted to go darker.
Yeah, so the way I'm kind of like thinking about this is kind of like a high shine package is what I want to offer it as to my guests. So this would almost be like an add-on to your color because it's not going to change the tonality much and it's not going to make us darker or lighter or anything like that, obviously. So I really just kind of want to add it to like as like a finishing service because we are seeing these really high shine. So I did do a level 4 1.9 on Maddie, you know, super simple. So what I would want to do in the salon is offer her that color and then at the end of her service, offer this as a high shine. I'm actually going to do a hair RX as well. So this is gonna kind of be like a package to add on to her color.
And then you could charge that as like a demi-gloss or...
Yeah, I would probably do it as a glossy in the hair RX. And the way when I'm thinking of something like this, like I want to offer this high shine finish to my clients, right? So the way I do it is I wouldn't break down like, okay, so, you know, she doesn't have to have like, I don't have to break it down step by step. It's going to be like a package in my mind. So I'm going to do like a glossing, a hair RX. Those services together are going to create that high shine look for her. So I would present it together. Yep.
Not gonna say we're gonna do this.
Yeah, and then we got to do this with that, and yeah, yep, exactly.
And I think I'm sure a lot of you are like looking at that and you're like thinking, oh my gosh, when I do that to my client, they're gonna freak out when they look at their head. So obviously it's something that you wanna like kind of prepare your clients for too, I think. But
I did tell Maddie, don't freak out when you hear me tell everybody I'm putting blue in your hair. Okay, so, you know, I mean, that's a pretty simple thing to like explain. Blue's going to neutralize out those warm tones.
So my pinwheel in the back that I'm doing with Sarah, I'm still keeping that brighter. So I'm taking my first triangle section, like right here in my pinwheel, and I'm kind of like moving up. But I'm making sure that I'm doing that lighter color at this bottom because this is where like you're gonna see the brightness. And she likes having like a lot of bright around her face. So that's why I'm kind of starting in here. So in here and like around, obviously around the face is where you're gonna see all the brightness. So that's why I'm starting down here with the brighter peach color. And you can do this with like regular tones. Like this doesn't have to be something that you use like a vivid with.
Shannon kind of triggered a thought for me too. Because this is, you know, when I'm doing my vivids, I want to put it on completely dry color because I want to make sure I have really even like saturation for the appearance of it. This is something that I'm really doing for shine. There's not much pigment to it, so this is definitely something you can even add on at the sink. Not that I'm not completely candid with my clients, but she kind of just made me like think about it. I probably wouldn't sit Maddie like right in front of a mirror just because it's going to be easier for me to do it at the sink. Andrea, I didn't forget about you. Always. I mean, any opportunity I get, I'll put it under the processor or heat because I feel like since it doesn't have developer, it doesn't penetrate the hair the way a traditional color would. So I want to open up that cuticle as much as I can. And I do let the hair cool down after so that I can help seal that cuticle back down. And of course, my clients love, I rinse them with cold water. So yeah, I always use a dryer. I just feel like it lasts better. Absolutely. I'm a loose cannon, Andrea. I don't know. It depends on what tone I like, how I'm feeling that day. Like, I don't have a great answer.
Miranda's famous for her religious hair color, which is, oh my God, that's big. But it always does. Sometimes I even walk by her chair and I'm like,
Me too.
That's a good way of explaining it, religious hair color.
So for my second look, my inspiration was a few different photos of, I'm sure you guys have probably seen them, where you're just seeing like a pop of one color coming out from kind of like the middle of the hair. So a lot of them is what I've been saying, it's dark hair with like white hair coming out. And we all know, probably not going to happen. So they're doing a lot of it with extensions. Now you can get that look if you were going to go in and you'll just do like 3 foils back to back. If you're looking for something that's, not as vibrant, not as, different. But so what I'm doing today is she would like purple. So we're going to do purple today and just kind of have that peekaboo highlight come out, but with extensions.
So I didn't mention like anything about the sides. So on the sides, you might already do it, maybe you don't. But if they want to be brighter around the face, I'll put 2 to 3 foils back to back to back, and then right behind that, I'll put like the chunkiest low light ever. And then it really brightens up around their face. So I do that no matter where I'm starting. If I do that in the back, if I start my highlights there, I'll do 2 to 3 foils, and then I'll put one behind each one in the back, and then same on the side, also same in the front of the head, depending how thick they want the blonde in the front. And then if somebody doesn't want to be as blonde, you kind of just reverse the layout on there. This is kind of like just a dimensional blonde rather than brown.
Alrighty, and I'm done with Sarah. I'm gonna have her swap out with with Leah back here.
Everybody get past me. You okay there?
Yeah, these 3, and then just give me an extra bowl. Yep.
So for this, I'm just doing 1 row of beads, and I'm going to do 1 row of hair underneath and then 1 row on top, just to give her a little bit more of that purple,
Is there
of the
any
depth
point
to
where
come
you
out
wanted
from
us
underneath.
to just pause for awards? Okay, sorry. Just wanted to know. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Thank you. You're good. Okay. So we're gonna do some bang color because everybody, that's like the big thing this year. Everybody's getting a pop of color in their bangs in some way, shape, or form. So I'm just gonna talk to you about what I did on these mannequins first, and then we'll go into what we're doing with Leah, because this is a little bit more simple, and what I'm gonna be doing on Leah is a little bit more complicated. So with this, actually I'll start with this one. So this one is a darker, more high impact, bold piece in the bang. And I took this I did a triangular section from the part, a nice big, like tiny little point, and then went out almost underneath the bang, so that way, and all the way to her hairline. That way it creates this extreme like impact in the front. And then with this one, I did a very similar thing, and what I did is I didn't color this underneath. So that way it looks like it's very fanned out and very like kind of diffused throughout the bangs. So I'm gonna keep these kind of like up here, and whenever we take a break or whatever, if anybody wants to take a look at my sectioning. It's pretty simple though, it's just a triangular shape on each of them, just one isn't going all the way to the hairline. So I'm going to, I think, I'll just put these over here so they're not in the way. What's that? I think so, yeah. This one's like super popular this year. People are doing like black with like bright reds this year. I've been seeing it all over the Insta. Thank you. So, with Leah, we're doing a shine line bang. So as you can see, I already pre-lifted her. And I do want to show you a little technique that I use whenever I want there to be a little bend to the color. So that way I know where it's going to fall. So you can do this like if you want like to create like a prism effect, depending on how you want to over direct the hair. So what I like doing is I will take a little bit of like an eyeshadow, and what I'll do is I pull it in one direction. Like I know that I want it to kind of like my color to C-shape out and bend out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull this out, see how far I might wanna pull it out, put this here, straight across, and then make sure that whenever this lays, it has, here I'll do it a little bit more so you can kind of see it better. And it's just something simple that you can do to like make sure that you're over directing. Now if I like over directed this all the way this way, I'm probably gonna get more of a V. So that way I just know how far I'm gonna over direct that color either way, whether it's like towards, like whether you're gonna apex it, like if you were apexing it, then you would get kind of like a shine line going down this way. But because I'm taking it out this way, I'm just making sure my elevation will be good so that whenever I bring it down, as you can see, there's like a little bit of like, you can see like how that kind of slants down. And because I just want it to be minute, I like just checking how far I should over direct it. Does that make sense? Okay. So I did that with her bleach too, so that you can kind of see that it kind of just slopes down a little bit.
So you guys can see I have that bottom row in, and then I'm going to put one right directly over top. Yeah, it's a nice option, especially if you have dark hair. I've seen a lot of them that are like bright red with like that white blonde coming through too, which we know we're never going to get that super blonde. So it's definitely, a nice option, but knowing when to like refer that to someone that does do extensions, or whether you could, because I mean, you can definitely do it with color. You just have to lighten all that section. But having that vibrant of it, and this way, like her purple's not gonna fade, it's gonna stay in longer. She wants to take it out, she can take it out and save it, put it back in later.
I guess I'll just add, just because I just remembered, because she does have like a little bit of a curtain bang. If you do that technique, make sure you do it all on the sides too, because if not, she'll just have two blonde bangs, and then it won't blend in with the rest of the hair. I wanted to add that in real quick. So it just depends. I mean, if I'm just doing a partial and they're not a lot like super blonde, then I'll just charge it for a partial, demi, all of that. But if they're super blonde and they want a little bit of dimension back into it, obviously you need to put more foils for the blonde. So you could really charge it however you want. I mean, you're putting in the effort to create the weaves you're gonna do, where you're gonna put them, how many you gotta, I mean, so you could charge creative if you wanted to. It just depends how much you're doing, I guess. But if somebody's super blonde and you're using a ton of foils, I would do creative. Because it's not like you can just add a low light here and there and it's gonna look good. Like, you have to really kind of place it how it's gonna blend nice with a fuller blonde, if that makes sense. And for this first weave, just so she doesn't get that stripe when she pulls her hair back, I always really fine weave the first one around the hairline.
So I'm just going to do this top point right in the center. I'm going to fan it out a little bit in my fingers, just to get a base in here. So can you look down for me, Leah? So what I am going to do is I'm going to do my two darker colors on the axis, and I'm going to feather them into the darker areas, like so. Look down for me. I don't know if you guys can see that. Making sure you really saturate those. And then I'm going to go in the middle here and just tap on my lighter color. And these films that I'm using are my new favorites. They're by Product Club, and you can see right through them. So especially whenever you're doing stuff like this, they're really, really helpful. So what I'm going to do to diffuse that line is this next one that I have. I'm just going to go in, and I'm just going to kind of like press on those areas just to give it a soft diffusion and to kind of mesh the three colors together. And now, because of how the film is, I'm going to be able to kind of see where that line is. Yes, they're reusable up to, I believe, 3 or 4 times. It says on the package. I don't have the package on me, but. So this next one, I'm going to make sure I kind of take a piece over this way, so that way it's over-directed on the side just a little bit. I'm just going to tap it on there a little bit just to keep it on the paper, so that way I can kind of mess with it. So see how I'm bringing these 2 points out?
Underneath the bond.
Down for me. See how I brought the 2 points out, so that way whenever it lays, it gives that kind of nice fanned out shine line look. Okay, you can look back so I can see. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Tell my old math teacher that, because I failed. Yes, exactly. I can't sit down and do geometry. There's no way. Exactly, exactly. Mm-hmm. I always say if I was book smart, I would be a scientist. But I'm not, so I'm a hairdresser. Different time, yeah, I said book smart. If I was book smart, yeah. Yeah, I'm art smart. That's a good way to say it, for sure.
So now, even before this is styled, you can see those pops just coming through. Yeah, super simple, super easy. So that would be, you would have to charge for the extensions. So now if you were doing this with color and you were doing like highlights and then toning and everything, I would still probably charge it as a creative just because of placement and everything you're gonna do. You probably have to pre-tone and all that kind of stuff, so. The extensions, so they'll last, 6, 8 weeks, depending on, how your hair grows, how she takes care of them. They're going to slide down with the hair, and then you move them up, and you come back in and do that. The hair just depends on how well it's taken care of, and that you just kind of, they say like about a year on the hair itself, but, depending on it's real hair, so you're going to have to take care of it, and it's going to get split ends, you're going to have to trim it, stuff like that, so. We will get her styled. Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm going to style it and everything, so, because it's all. Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so I'm also going to let her process, style her and anything. Did anybody have any other questions about that? I really like the 7-1s, or like I think you can make an 8NA in the tones. I really like that one because it gives you a little bit of both. It goes with any toner too, really. But for her, I used, to give her a little bit more of like that pop, I'm just using 9.0 on her, and then I use 671 for the low light. So it'll be pretty.
So as I get to the end here, I am gonna run out of like bottom darker space, and that's okay. You just don't color it that bottom darker because I am over directing backwards. And the reason why I'm over directing backwards is so that I can have that like brighter fall line, kind of like how I explained with how it's darker underneath in this area. It's just gonna give that top area more impact. So this one, I'm just going to kind of end with the shine line right at those bottom areas. I'm sure I got all of it. Okay. Just gonna... I'm not sure. I literally just started working with these like the last 2 weeks. I picked them up when I was in the New York at the New York Hair Show. Yeah, I would guess not. Yeah, I would assume not. Yeah, this is definitely like I would say more for like your creative vivids or like highlights where you're trying to like kind of like see where like they'd be really good for like if you're doing like tips, if they want that kind of like straight line and you want to make sure that each, you know, each one is like the same you're like at the seam area when you're applying them. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely. If you guys want to come up and feel them, you can. I have some of these too. You don't have to get your hands in color, and they have like a rough side too. And you put the kind of yeah. They're a little bit more sturdy though. And there's like I don't know if you can kind of tell or if you felt there's like a rougher side. That's like the area that you put the hair on, so that way it kind of gives it a nice grip. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, when you feel it, you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, I'm like, give me 5 of those whenever I went there. So I don't know if Cosmoprof sells them. I think you might have to order them through Product Club. I would say Product Club is one of the more reasonable ones, though. So.
We're going to do awards
Okay.
and then take a break for snack.
Okay.
We're going to start with the award ceremony, and we really want to say that everybody here is a winner, and everyone that was nominated worked really hard, and you guys are amazing. And I hope you can hear me. I have laryngitis. My family said it's Christmas all over again. So here we go. The award goes to the stylist with the highest overall service dollars in 2023. And the 5 top finalists are Andrea Westmoreland, Danny at the Block, Debbie from Fox Chapel, Maureen from Fox Chapel, and Renee from Squirrel Hill. Are we ready? Okay. We're happy to say that not only did this winner have a phenomenal year, placing first in the company with an amazing $162,845 in services. That's absolutely incredible. She also increased her service dollars by 20.2% from the 2022 year. And I'm honored to say the winner of this is Danny from the Block. Now, unfortunately, Danny is not able to be here tonight. She sends her apologies. So Regina is accepting in her place.
Okay, number 2. Lisa, you're up.
It's just like the real, like award shows.
Yes. Sealed and everything.
Sealed and everything. Okay. This award goes to the stylist with the highest beauty at home sales in 2023. The top 5 finalists in the category are Andrea from Westmoreland, Barbie from Robinson, yay, Charlie from Fox Chapel, Rihanna from Fox Chapel, and Tina from Southland and Cranberry. We are happy to announce that the winner has achieved $12,109 in beauty at home services in 2023. The winner is Barbie from Robinson.
This award goes to stylists with the highest overall hair color service dollars in 2023. The top 5 finalists are Andrea from Westmoreland, Barb from Robinson, Bethany from the block, Danny, the block, Maureen, Fox Chapel. The winner in this category achieved the ultimate in hair color service dollars in 2023. She reached the unbelievable level of $75,419 in hair color sales. Applaud for that. And the winner is Danny from the block, Northway. Thank you.
There she is.
Okay.
No, wrong. Yep. Go ahead.
This award goes to the stylist with the highest number in IBBT treatments in 2023, starting from the company-wide rollout in October 10th, 2023. The top 5 finalists are Madeline Sienna, Maureen Fox Chapel, Regina the Block, Shelley Sienna, and Teresa Sienna. The winner in this category achieved an amazing 115 treatments, creating an additional $1,875 in sales. She has also been on the floor for less than 2 years. And the winner is Madeline from Sienna.
Okay, guys, I have the award for healthy hair. This award goes to the stylist with the highest overall healthy hair service dollars in 2023. The top 5 finalists are Brian, Blue Spruce, Chris from Cranberry, Maureen from Fox Chapel, Nikki from Blue Spruce, Tina from Southland Cranberry. The winner in this category achieved $11,867 in healthy hair services alone. And the winner is Nikki from Blue Spruce. And I'm pretty sure Nikki's at Disney World right now, so I guess that's acceptable. So Angela will be taking for her.
We're on 6. That would be you.
Hi, guys.
Our MC for the night.
I don't think I did that bad of a job either. I'm just saying, Philip, if you need me for anything else, let me know. Is this supposed to be up higher? Can you hear me now? How about now? All right, so this award goes to the stylist who was chosen as the social media trendsetter of the year. The finalists and the winner were chosen by a voting team of 36 technical and social media savvy team members across this organization. The top 6 finalists are, I need a drum roll, please. Thank you. Angela from Blue Spruce. Carlena from the block. Halie from Sienna. There she is. Jackie O from Cranberry. Madeline from Sienna. And Nikki, who's in Disney Blue Spruce. All right, so the winner in this category has shown such incredible creativity in utilizing all aspects of every social media to promote her work, talent, and personality on a regular basis. And Jackie is the winner, and it's an honor to hear her. And for the record, this girl interviewed me 5 times. There you go, Jackie. Thank you. I'm going to give you all that, honey. Bless.
Oh, I love you.
Okay, so I get to do the last one. And that is our 2023 New Talent Award. And this award goes to the top new rising talent in our organization. How it worked is the candidates must be in the industry and on the floor as a designer for 2 years or less. Okay? The top 5 finalists were Angela from Blue Spruce, Halie from Sienna, Kylie from the block, Madeline from Sienna, and Natalie from Cranberry. And by the way, if you are still, anybody that's in the nominees this year, if you are still within 2 years next year, you still can qualify for next year as well. Okay, because a couple of you are in that category. The winner was based on the following: service dollars, color dollars, new and existing guest retention, elite advance booking, number of IBBTs performed, and the number of new guests created. The winner went from a C-level designer to an A1 in 18 months and has set a new standards in what a new designer can accomplish in 2 years or less. And the winner is Halie from Sienna. Okay, so we are going to take a short break. We have snacks, sodas, water, and all that kind of thing. And then we're going to come back for section 2. Okay? Thanks.
Okay, so you can see here, I left a little section of Shelby's hair, but I didn't want to bore you guys with this whole process. But I created a much more even palette with that 566 at her root. I pulled some of it down through the ends and then toned some of it with 6645. So I have a pretty even canvas to work on, a little bit more brightness on the ends so that I can get a slight more shimmer of the purple. Now this is a little bit different than what we're doing on Maddie. This is going to create a high shine look for me, but I am changing her tonality. We're going a little bit deeper. That amethyst is really going to darken this hair for us and give us like a purple hue. So what I used on her is mostly amethyst. She's got a ton of hair. I used 2 tubes of amethyst and 1 tube of true blue. Do you guys have any feelings about why I might have used the true blue? Does anybody want to shout it out or?
Cancel out the red.
Yep, to give it that cooler look, exactly, because that cooler look's gonna reflect more light. Shelby's like my closest friend, so this is for my benefit so that I can check my reflection in her hair. Like I wanna make sure I don't have food in my teeth when I'm with her, okay? So that's gonna give us like some really high shine having that blue undertone in there. It's also gonna help us out because she has a lot of red tones in there. So purple, we all know, is red and blue, but I already have that red. And this Joico isn't gonna shift that color for me at all. It's gonna work with what I have. So I'm also adding a little bit of that blue so that the red doesn't take over in that purple tonality. Cool? Okay, and then I'm just running that all through to, like I said, the work's already done for me with that like little bit of dimension, so I'm just applying this all over. Any questions with that? Great, thanks guys. I just hung out with Shelby.
All right, so if you guys have seen in the books, so I'm going to be doing a faded faux hawk. So what I'm seeing is kind of that early 2000s faux hawk, but it's still kind of pushed to the side in the front, like the haircuts on men that we have been doing. I'm actually going to be showing a bald fade with a foil razor. So I'm going to start with no guard and get everything that I need off, and I'm going to actually fade it up to a 2. And then once I get all of that done, I'll show you guys exactly how I use the foiler.
Is it my turn?
So I'm taking that no guard kind of right up past the temple here. And I'm really only going to be doing that 1 to 2 in this area here. You can go ahead if you need.
Okay, thanks. All right. Well, I am going to show like an elevated, natural glam kind of look and really focusing on brightening the under eye. I think whenever we're doing makeup, we kind of tend to go to the lightest color because we think it's going to brighten the under eye. But sometimes that's more of a cooler tone, and if you have dark circles, it's actually going to enhance the dark tones under your eye. So what I'm actually going to do is use some warmer tones to neutralize those dark circles out, even though my model doesn't really have any, but to just brighten the under eye, and then also using a blush combination to lift her cheekbones and to just elevate her natural features. So that's all.
I'm actually going to take my 2 next, and then I'll take that 1 in between to blend everything out. So let's go all the way, almost all the way up. I'm going to get that last little bit with my scissors just to blend into the top.
Under Janet's eye, I'm using 2 different concealers. I'm using a light warm shade towards the inner corner of her eye, and then a light peach shade in the center of her eye, and going to expand that out.
So I'm going to keep my this open and start it, and then I'm going to go back in with it closed to kind of fade out that line. He has super, super thick hair, so I go over it a bunch of times. And just rock that. These are the Babyliss, the Pro ones. Came out a couple years. Yeah. I'm just going to go through here and just kind of rock out that line. Don't be afraid to kind of pull the skin tight, too.
All right, so I have her under eyes concealed with the warmer tone. And if you look in the diagram on the pamphlet, you can see on the lower picture, there's one side where he used cooler concealer and a side where he used warmer concealer. And you can see the difference on how the cooler concealer is not really doing anything, but the warmer concealer is brightening. And now I'm going to move on to the blush. I'm going to use 2 different shades. Still kind of warmer, but this blush can get a little crazy, so just bear with me.
So I'm going to go in with my tea trimmers. I'm going to go right under that line that I'd made with the no guard. The foil razor, it needs it to be very, very tight to the skin to do anything. So I'm going to go through and kind of start my line to where I want that bald fade to be, and just kind of etch that out. And get it as close as I can to do that bald fade.
All right, so I have Janet's blush on. It's up a little bit higher than I would typically put my blush, but it's so it elevates her face. You want everything to go up. You want the facelift look. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna add a little bit of highlighter, and that's just a little elevated, natural glam look. That's it. So,
Does anyone have any questions while I'm doing this? Just shout them out. So this is the foil razor. Babyliss makes it. I think I got this one on Amazon. It's the double razor, so I'm going to go the longer part down first, because it'll get both razors going. If I need to do like something real tight, I'll just take the one razor. But again, don't be afraid to pull that tight. I'm going to go all the way up to that line that I created, and then I'll blend it.
like I said, I just added a little highlighter to Janet. I put her highlighter a little bit more on her cheekbone under her eye, so when she turns, it just brightens her face rather than her temple, because I feel like that's where we're seeing highlighter being placed. And then I just set her under eye with some pressed powder.
So I'm gonna go back in with my lever closed. And just blend out that line, little by little. Just rocking that back and forth. Again, I like to pull that tight or else it's not gonna blend out. Then I'm gonna open it up. Just take any extra that I need to. When I'm doing these, I kind of like work all the way around. I'm gonna take a couple steps back. I twist my chair a lot because you're gonna get different shadows in the salons in different areas. Just trying to get the most like light to it. And then the last thing I do is take this again, and I'm just slightly tapping down. So I'm not getting that complete fold, just kind of blending that line out. Now for the top, I'm gonna cut it like the old school faux hawk. We're actually gonna take from back here and just pull everything up to the center. Then I'm gonna blend my sides in. And then I just kind of will push it to the side and blend that front where it needs to push to whatever side that they want to go to. So again, I'm gonna pull everything up here. I'm gonna start with that 2 in the back and blend that. Pull everything to a peak in the center. And then go through, pull everything up and just kind of get rid of some of the peaks on each end. To create that texture. And then this is where I'll blend my sides in. Don't really have too much because you want it just to kind of blend into that hair. So that's that little bit that I didn't cut with clippers earlier. And I just scissor over comb just to blend that out. You can use your like texture shears too. And same with that side. I always cut too with the direction that their hair wants to grow. It's just going to lay much better for them.
Oop. Yep, it's on. All right, so this is our finished product. I'm just going to do a little styling on her today with a waver. I do want to talk about products I use whenever I want to do some really high shine waves or high shine curls. So what I like doing is I like layering. So what I basically do is whenever I get them out of the chair, so the first thing you immediately want to do, because it's got such small molecules, is you want to throw the IBBT in first. And then on top of that, I put the color lock in over top of the IBBT, because what that's going to do is that's going to seal down the cuticle so that whenever you put any high shine product on top of that, it's going to lay on top of it instead of go into the cuticle. A lot of the times we do want it to go into the cuticle, but when we want this like high impact shine, you want to layer it and you want to lock down that cuticle so that it lays on top of that hair strand. So I basically put the IBBT from root to end. Then everything else is basically from mid shaft down. So whenever I go in and I wave her, I'm going to still be doing pretty much like everything product-wise, including my brilliant hair, probably from about here down, because we don't want those, like we want a lot of shine, but we also don't want those roots to look super oily. So basically, I'm going to go through and I'm going to wave her with some brilliant hair. And maybe if somebody can get me fluid.
So I'm just kind of going through over here and slide cutting a little bit of that thicker section out here, just kind of by visual. So we want that texture here to come forward and then this to kind of swoop to the side. So I don't want, he's got a lot of hair right here, so I don't want to get rid of it, but I do need to kind of piece some of that out. Any questions? I think just in the hair texture themselves. I know his hair really well. I cut it every 2 weeks. So but a lot of times with how thick his hair is and it's already textured, if I do too much with the textured shears, when it grows out, it like puffs right out on the sides. So I just kind of lay it where how his hair grows and just take out just little tiny pieces in there. Like I'm barely taking anything, but it just lets it lay down. Now get him shampooed. Shampooed. Let me go to that one. There's color on this one. I put that out.
So we're going to be seeing this year a lot more waves than we are going to be seeing curls. And with the curls that we're seeing right now, we're going to be seeing no more fishtails, no more like fringy ends. It's going to be a lot more of a classic, soft, crisp curl. I'm actually kind of excited for it because I've been kind of over doing that drag out thing at the end. I mean, I don't know if it's because it's the old beauty school, gal in me, that literally would get berated if I had those almost straight ends that were in for a while. So it kind of killed me to do that when it was a trend. So notice how whenever I'm spraying my product, I'm holding it up and spraying down so I'm not getting anywhere close to this root area. But I'm being pretty generous with the Brilliant Hair. So you're going to see a lot of steam. A lot of times you have to prepare your clients for that, right? Hey, you're going to see steam. I'm not burning off your hair. It's actually protecting your hair. So. So I'm trying to kind of recreate. I don't know if you've seen some of these almost wet wave looks. Kim Kardashian did it, I think at the Met Gala or something like that. And then I believe Megan Fox did it as well. So just wanted to show you how to kind of recreate that look. I think a big thing that I see a lot of people doing that they don't get the waves quite right whenever they do this is they're pulling down whenever they're going down the hair. So make sure that you kind of hold it up whenever you're bringing it down. You see how don't let it create a crease.
texture groom.
Obviously, if you wanted these like a little bit even more wet looking, you would go in with smaller sections and you would probably use like even more gel. Maybe like some define to make it like look like kind of like extra crispy. Yeah, like the like 90s. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, it's not quite there, but it's like a version, basically. I mean, you're seeing it everywhere. Oh my God, in beauty school, you could have broke off a piece of my hair. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sure. I don't work with him anymore, though. I don't work with him anymore, so I don't know. I'm sure he is. No, TJ. He was like industrial king on everybody. I don't even think I have it at my station.
Okay. So I just towel dried him really well and put texture groom in. And you're gonna wanna make sure that you really get it in there and kinda tousle the hair around to get that really textured look. And everything I push kind of forward and over, and then this just comes to the side. And then I can bring up my other two from earlier, Gracie. You want to hop back over there? Have a seat. Twist it around. Okay. Good. So here's the two-tone with the peach tones in there. You see that nice split. All right, you want to hop with you?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And then here's the purple with the extensions. And you can see it just kind of pops out underneath there. And even though it's the whole way around, you just still see those nice peaks. So. Yeah, yep. We're gonna go downstairs.
Okay, so John just pointed out to me that I'm using Pelusi jargon, and we have some beauty school students here tonight. So let's talk a little bit about, as I said earlier, IBBT. So what IBBT is, as most of us know, but our beauty school people don't, it is it stands for Instant Bond Building Treatment. So basically what it's going to do is it's also another aid in helping lock down that cuticle, give it a little bit more shine, and it's something that lasts for about a month on the client's hair. It's something that we do in salon because it is super high highly concentrated, and we believe that if we were to send people home with it, they would just overuse it because it does make your hair feel so good. Yeah, they'd be like, oh no, I'll only use it once a month. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's an in-salon only treatment. Did I answer the questions for the beauty school people in the room? Yes? Okay, cool. Woo!
All of that shine. I used a little bit of polish, but this is just mostly fluid, and it has really good curl. So this shine's coming from that clear gloss, and you can see that little bit of blue just kind of helped to mute those like warmer tones she had on her hand a little bit, without like tipping.
His cloud of, yeah. All right, so I'm going to do the front here. I'm going to do this part with the curling iron, just this front area, to kind of get it to brush away from her face, but still get that, that more of a wave. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to spray down just a little bit on that, and then spray down in that area as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this front corner piece, and I'm just going to kind of warm that real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the root and just do it kind of like a regular curl. And then I'm going to flip it out and pull. Flip it out and pull. And that's going to give her a wave that goes back with that and there. So if you stick around for long enough, I'll do it on the other side too. So I always pin this way. What's up? I'll just leave her down there, and I'll come down after I'm done with this. I'll be right down. Does anybody have any questions about, did everybody kind of understand why I layered the products? Yeah. It's like a super important factor of this. Is anybody else out here like using Color Lock as a product instead of? I think that is like one of the most like underused products that we probably have. Well, I mean, like as as like a styling product that should be used more, in my opinion. Yeah. Agreed. But also too, for the instant bond building treatment, you do all have to remember that that has to go in before the color lock. All right, if anybody wants to see me do the front piece again. Got all quiet. Let's spray that. Yeah, I explained it. Oh, okay. Okay, were we not, like, whenever I explained it earlier? Because I feel like, did I not? Okay. Okay, so the IBBT is a bond building treatment that we have that's in salon. It locks down the cuticles and puts bonds into the hair. Yeah, it stands for instant bond building treatment. Okay. All right. Alrighty, so we're gonna get into this here. We're gonna curl to the root,
Put it over top.
slip out, pull, slip out, pull, and then slip out and pull. And that's gonna give her a nice little wave that goes back away from her face.
No, you can just.
But it's going away from her face. And then to finish her off, I'm gonna actually go through with my fingers with some more, a little tiny bit more polish, but only through the ends. I'm gonna work from the ends up, which is normally not what we do. But I guess it depends on which one. And then to finish her off, because we haven't done anything with this root, I'm just gonna go far away and just spray just some brilliant hair right on top there, just one little spray, and it will kind of blend that all out. There you go. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so this is
Oily
what she looks like. I guess you can stand up now so everybody can see. So turn to the side. So you can kind of see, like, there's still all that dimension in there. I'm just going to turn you. Well, like, still mostly blonde. I kept that brighter around the face. You can turn around, too. So you can see how that low light lays, or that highlight lays over that low light, so it makes it pop a little bit more. And yeah, so like I said, with a different, if you want a little less dimension, like I was showing you, like I would literally take wherever they part their hair, so if they part it in the middle or part it on the side, wherever it is, part it where that is, and then I just take the smallest little zigzag section, split it in half, and then before you put that top highlight, if they're blonde, I put the low light right underneath. If you're going up the side, as if you're going up the side of the head. So I won't go across like that. So this just gives you a little bit more dimension, and then, yeah, and she still has that brightness around the face. So. Nice.
Okay, guys, I have Shelby. Come on over, Shelby. So, she's a little damp. I didn't want you guys to run out of here and not see her. I worked too hard for that. But you can see how that, you know, to look at it, we've got like one tonality, but under the sun, she does have like some different like pops of brighter purples. And I mean, we could even add, I did prep her with the Bond Builder, but just having like that cooler tone in here just gives her so much shine in her hair. Okay, any questions on that? Thank you, guys. Did you see it?
All right. So this is Sarah's finished look. We'll finish color. I just wanted to explain to you what I did with this top area. I backcombed over this way, and then I blow dried this way and just pinned it into place. we're not totally seeing a nix of the middle part, but we are starting to see super like side parts. We're not going to see like your like neutral side part. We're going to be like seeing dramatic side parts if we're going to see side parts. So that's what I did on Sarah today. So I'm just going to, since it's all cooled down, I like taking it out and just spraying it just a little bit, a little fluid, giving her. And that's just with my blow dryer, just in this small section in here, giving her like that really nice dramatic look in the front. Yeah, there you go. If you want to stand up. Let's see. Her color is all nice and dimensional. You look, she looks like she's on one of those wheels just turning around herself. She just knows what she's doing at this point. Thank you.
I was just saying, we've seen her blue, rainbow, orange.
She can pull off everything, yeah. She's like a professional Pelusi model. Yeah, at this point, we're like, we just need to like give you like a modeling job here.
Okay, so what do you think? These guys did a lot of work. There's a lot of homework that goes involved in all this. One of the things I think I'm most proud of is we present techniques here, and you see them on Modern Salon 6 months later saying, this is the latest thing. And we're that far ahead of the curve. So you may not have seen a lot of what we've done tonight, but you will see it coming, I guarantee you it. And these guys do a lot of homework. There's a lot of meetings that happen in between. We meet with Philip, we sit down, we talk about the techniques that we think we can promote here in our salons. And I just want to say hats off to all of you guys for once again, and the new ones, Carlena and Halie, for helping out. For all of those of you who in the salons and the models that filled in, thank you. And again, tonight was our biggest attendance ever. We thank you all. If it keeps growing like this, we may have to find some other place to do this. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks.